This is a must-see for any Alice in Wonderland fans. So let me tell you, I started with making my own beads because sometimes you have a project in your head and you have no idea where to get the beads or something. And I was asked to make like Alice in Wonderland theme decor. And don't get me wrong, I am not talking about the Disney version. I would never ever. No, I am talking about the classic one. So firstly, as I was saying, I was making my own beads, so I rolled out the clay. Yes, I am cutting the clay with my scissors. You don't want to see how my scissors are looking, but these are really the scissors I am using to cut clay and napkin and such. So I cut it to the shape of my styrofoam ball, and then I shaped it like it will, stick to the ball with my express glue from Pentard. So you have to play with it. And if you wanna wear gloves, after this I started to wear them as well because your fingers are getting messy. Okay, and then I took my stamp. I decided to use this one, like Harlequin style, and I just put it on there, like press it on. And if you are asking me why I just didn't, roll it out, press the stamp onto the clay, and then glue it on the styrofoam ball, trust me, it would be ruined. The design until I would be glued, because with my hands and everything, it would be ruined. So this is the easiest and faster way. So then, of course, since it's Alice in Wonderland, roses, so I have this mold from Stamperia, and I glued on 3 roses in the middle, and then I did it 3 times. I think 3 times did I this? I'm not sure. Okay, then I have this wooden tag which I painted twice with white paint on one side, because the other side we're gonna decorate a little bit different. So on the one side I put white paint, and on the other side it was time to decorate with clay. And for this one I roll out the clay again, making sure it will fit my wooden tag, and then I glued it on the tag again, and making sure it's pretty thin because it will crack upon drying, so make sure it is. And then I just pressed on this stencil with roses. At this point I only had this one. This is a little bit older video, but I decided I need to put the videos out there. So sometimes you're gonna see a different kind of table or something, because I decided to put some of the old videos out there as well. So now I am gluing it on, and here I am a little bit careful because I don't want to ruin my roses design. So technically you can glue it and then press it on, it's up to you. And then I have this mold, flexible mold from Stamperia. It was the Alice in Wonderland series they had, and I got all of it. Alice in Wonderland fan here. Okay, so I just glued it. It was a perfect match, and yeah, taking off the excess of the glue because it will dry like shiny. So make sure you take off the excess. And then, yeah, I wanna, so now my beads are dry. So firstly I painted everything in black paint and took off any excess of the paint with wet towel. So, and then after this was dry, now I'm not sure what I did the next part, because as I was saying, it's a little bit older video, but I'm hoping you enjoy seeing it as well. There are some other Alice in Wonderland decorations on my channel which I made, so you can go and check those out. And then I painted the roses in gold. If you're asking why I'm just using black, gold and red, it's because I was asked to do this decor in those colors. And now it is time for sealing. So I seal those beads with matte varnish. And on another video I made the glitter beads, but I think guys you know how those are made, so didn't show you here. And now the same here, it is dry, and make sure it is dry so you don't ruin your design before painting. So the clay is dry and everything was painted. Firstly I was like, I'm gonna just paint the sign in the middle black, and then I think I decided to paint the whole thing, because it is what it is. So sometimes you have a project in your mind, an idea in your mind, and then you go completely different. So don't just, yeah. And here I am adding a little bit of golden, it's like golden metallic paint, and I took off the excess here as well, so it is not as shiny as it looks. Now it is time to seal this one as well, and you see there is a little crack there, see, but I didn't mind because technically it gives like this rusty kind of look. And now it is time for a little bit of gold. So I have this 3D glue pen which I just applied on some of these, like for a contrast to the other stuff, and you let it dry until it's become transparent, and then you apply metallic flakes or metallic foil and whatever. And again, you use gloves. It's messy, but you can reuse the foil, so don't throw it out, you can reuse it. And now on the other side, this is my custom printed rice paper, which I just trace on it. I got the clip art from Etsy. At that point I cannot tell you if it's still available, but I'm pretty sure there will be something similar there as well. Just search on Etsy Alice in Wonderland clip art, and there will be, I'm pretty sure, a lot of opportunities. And if you have the possibility to print it out yourself or someplace, go for it. I think it will make your project stand out and be like something different. So here again, applying my 3D glue, and again let it dry until it becomes transparent. As you can see here, is like milky something. Let it dry until it becomes transparent, but still sticky, so don't forget it. And again, metallic flakes, and take off the excess because it will only stick where the glue is. So and use like a soft brush to do it. Use a container or something like this. So my beads are ready to go. Now my trusted glitter decoupage glue, which I applied on my rice paper, and let it dry. Of course, make sure no excess, right? Because excess will dry out white. Now pouring glaze for sealing touch. You can apply 2-3 layers for a nice shiny look, and now it is time to decorate it. And again, flexible mold from Santeria, Alice in Wonderland series, and there is Alice. So, and here I must say I put it a little bit in the fridge, so it will be a little bit harder, so it could be easier to get it out. So now my Alice is glued on my wooden tag, making sure, and again taking off the excess of the glue so it will not stay there. Now it is all dry, and again painted all of it in black paint, took off the excess of the paint, and after that I just applied a little bit of golden metallic paint as well, and a little bit of, I think the heart I painted red, but I am not 100% sure if I did it, but I am pretty sure. Yeah, why would I paint the heart any other way? But you never know, right? So, okay, let's see. Yeah, I'm painted, even the cake, I painted a little bit of red and took off the excess as well, just for a nice little accent of the cake here. Just a little bit, and the same way I think I did the heart as well, and then let it dry, and then it was time to seal it with matte varnish. Of course you can use glossy one as well, and again for a little bit of extra touch, my 3D glue pen, and you let it dry until it becomes transparent, and then you can add the flakes, foil, whatever you have onto it. And then technically my beads are done, my tag is done, so let's make the tea tray garland. And for this I am using wool, so I made my own tassel. I am just using this cardboard or canvas. It was technically a canvas which I wanted to use for a sign or something, but it got it got a little bit paint there, so I just use it for this. Then I cut it off again in half, and then again I cut it off, and then this I used another string of wool, just put it together in the middle. Oops. See, I'm too strong for it. Technically I couldn't keep it out. I mean, I should, right? But okay, let's have some fun and see that nobody's perfect. I make some stuff too, like messed up things and such. So okay, now see, I'm checking if all of those are in there and which are not. Okay, are not. And now I'm using a large needle, and now see, I just put my beads together how they go, so I know how I want to put them. And since I tear up the wool string there. It just got a little bit messy, but now I know I'm using like small wooden beads in between each of my handmade bead as well, and this way I went all up to the end. And now it is time to add my tag, so which was also easy with my needle to do that. So okay, I did that. Then I just put the wool string a little bit like couple of times around, and then I just put it all together. And now it is time to make my tassel. And since my tassel isn't like the same size, because as I was cutting it, it wasn't perfect, which is okay. I'm just trying to cut it in the same length. And there we go. It's all finished and done. Here it is, my Alice in Wonderland inspired garland, tear tray garland. I hope you enjoy watching the video. Until next time, bye.